Hello, everyone. Welcome to another Dropped Frames. I'm excited to announce that Kanye West has won the presidency.
Yay!
We did it. We did it.
I voted for him 3 times.
Oh, that's illegal.
You're illegal.
Okay. All right. Whose green screen is? I fixed it. Nope. Oh, it's fine. I'm hitting Zeke for
I'm getting
All right, we fixed it. We fixed the green.
I'm sorry.
That's a fun goof. Hello. Okay. It's currently November 4th, 2020. Code, do you happen to know anything to what episode, where we're at, what's happening? Give us a key alert update. A key update alert.
Of 11.
All right.
11T.
We're 11D here on Drop Frame.
Oh, Ko, you must not have been watching JP's Twitter from last night.
You got to get those key alert updates.
Yeah, in the style of like key state update, or
Yeah.
The current state of Drop Frame is deep fuchsia.
Nice. We're going by that. But for the longest time, I didn't realize that was a meme account. I thought that was a real thing, and I was like, why are all these coders going by like these random colors for what the alert status was? Then I did some research, and yeah, it's just a joke. It's just a goof.
Just a goof.
Yeah, that's what I get for trusting Barry to retweet things. It turns out he is not a trusted news source.
He's basically a big goof himself.
Yes.
He's like a personified goof.
I agree. I would concur. Yeah, I concur.
Speaking of being a personified goof,
yes,
I had how every time the Dallas Cowboys play, I get random tags that are meant for Ezekiel Elliott, the running back for the Dallas Cowboys. And someone was convinced that I was a verified Ezekiel Elliott spoof account.
Oh, yeah?
Like that, I got verified on Twitter for being just that good of a spoof. That good of like a joke account, a meme account.
Oh, I see. How'd that conversation go?
It was difficult to convince him because he was like, nice joke account. I'm like, I assure you, I'm a gamer. And he's like, yeah, whatever, man. I'll see you next Sunday, I guess. I'm like, what the
fuck? Nice. My latest Twitter experiences is I've started to, I guess, because I've been quite political, and this is kind of leading into what you want to talk about today, Zeke, at the start of the show, which is good. I've been pretty political the past couple of days for obvious reasons on Twitter. And so now my mentions have started to get filled with bots / very aggressive Twitter users. So I've received some pretty colorful commentary the past couple of days about what I need to do to my body and what they want to do to my body and how they wish me to cease breathing in a lot of ways. And that's been fun. Having not been on that receiving end of those type of comments for a very long time. Let me tell you, it's pretty interesting to see.
I want to see.
They might have gotten deleted.
Is there a particular tweet that went out that got the most?
It was probably the one where I said that Donald Trump looks like he's jerking off ghosts when he dances. That was the one that did it.
Man, I think that's a bipartisan joke. I think anybody can get behind that joke.
You know what I'm pissed about? Here's what I'm pissed about that joke. Is I got a text from someone from my esports days and a longtime friend. He said, hey, man, this person stole your joke. And I said, what? And he linked me to a Instagram account that stole my fucking joke and has like 7 million comments or some shit on Instagram. And now, I forgot that I also experienced that world as well. So
should have trademarked it.
Yeah, I know. I should have. I'm going to DMCA him, I think, is what's going to happen. I've learned a lot about DMCA in the past couple of days, and I think we're going to follow through.
There should be a website. Wherever you think of a funny joke, you go and submit it, and it trademarks that joke. So anyone that does it after that
on the internet,
they have to pay you exposure bucks.
Yeah, I think so. I think that would work. For sure. That'd be a good one. Anyways, Zeke, I'm gonna read from your comment because I think you put it. Actually, I'll let you introduce it. Obviously, there's an election going on right now, and we're here in America. We're kind of knee deep in waiting for 3 states to finish counting votes, and recounts are starting to be declared for certain states by certain parties, and blah 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 blah. Yeah,
6 of them.
Yeah.
There's 6 states, 3 of which are like super close. The other 3 we're not sure if they're close yet because like there's only, actually 2 of them have less than 70% of the vote counted thus far, according to Associated Press.
Right. Exactly. And while we're not looking to give you the latest and greatest on political news, Zeke did kind of want to bring up a topic which I think is interesting that I want to say that we've touched on before. I don't know if we've had a discussion on it in recent times though, which is maybe more of a refresh topic because of how politics right now is kind of everything in America. It's the focus of almost everyone's attention, I would say. But yeah, Zeke, I'll let you kind of broach the subject that you wanted to, and we'll go from there.
Well,
disclaimer: this is not a discussion on politics.
Correct.
No.
Yes.
No.
Yeah, we're not going to talk to you about how you should have voted for Kanye West.
Yeah. No, this is politics as a whole as it relates to Twitch. Because this is a Twitch talk show, and we talk about video games and things that affect us and Twitch as a whole, or people who watch streaming services and like ours. And I guess the topic I wanted to bring up was discussing politics on your stream.
Right.
And I'm not just saying on ours. I'm saying I would love to get like an idea of how we think about that. Like, is it our duty to, or not, maybe not duty, but like, it feels like some people are abjectly against discussing any sort of politics on their stream. They're like, no politics whatsoever. And then some people are like, it's kind of our duty to discuss politics because we like, if you want to like see exactly who the streamer is and who I am and that kind of stuff, like, I feel it's like my obligation to discuss where I stand.
Sure.
And
if you have
the issues of the day. Exactly. Yeah, exactly. You have a platform, use it. Thank you.
Yeah.
That's what I was struggling to come up with.
Yeah. Where do you start, Zeke? I think this is more an individual decision than a group decision for streamers. Is my quick take on it. But yeah, I'm curious for your own thoughts, Zeke, and we'll kind of pass it around. We'll pass the spirit stick.
I've always been of the mind that that your channel obviously is run how you'd like it to run. My channel is definitely primarily 98% just gaming, video gaming. Whether playing video games, discussing them, that kind of thing. However, I am not against the idea of people using their platform to discuss things that matter to them. Whether it be a charity or politics. If politics really matter to someone, I would like to know that. Like, it makes the person you're watching more human. It gives you an idea of the kind of person you are watching. There is a limit that I will sit for. And I think I try to portray like that limit. Like, I'll talk about it. I have no problem discussing it, but for my channel, it's not something I would like to discuss at length or do an entire like stream about. It's something that if it's brought up, I will definitely tell you how I feel about it. Just like I would definitely tell you how I feel about legalizing marijuana or, et cetera, et cetera. Do I think it has a place? Sure. I mean, it's your channel. Like, this is, I don't understand the people who are like, stay in your lane. Don't discuss politics. You're an entertainer. What the fuck do you know? And shit like that. I was angry like one day, and I just wanted to like tweet out like, you know what gives me the right to discuss this shit? I'm fucking American. I'm an American citizen, and I fucking vote. And that's what gives me the right. That's what gives any American citizen the right to talk about whatever the fuck they want to talk about as it relates to the United States. Like, I can't talk intelligently about politics in Denmark, but I have a little bit of knowledge about how politics and shit have worked in my 40 years on this planet being a U.S. citizen. But I don't know if I was a U.S. citizen for all 40, but.
Well, you were born in the U.S., so unless something else didn't happen.
Yeah, no, I'm kidding. I'm just joking.
Unless there's an origin story of Zeke and Mother Russia that we don't know about.
Yeah. Yeah, just don't say my.
Do you have some activation words that we should know about?
Fuck, you knew where I was going with that, yo. A deep mole.
Yeah, yeah, you got to be careful around that.
Yeah. Like, what was it? George Carlin said it. I think he was like, "Yeah, my activation phrase is, stop blowing me, or I'm calling the cops." Like something like no one would ever say.
Very Carlin.
Activate me.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
Must kill senators and presidents. And,
there you go. We're also on the list now.
But maybe. I'm already there. I saved you guys.
You're bringing us along. Yeah.
Just by association.
By association, exactly.
Yeah. Thanks.
Yeah.
Without a doubt.
That's what I'm saying. Like people who are like, you don't have the right to talk about it just because you're a celebrity or because you're an internet personality or something like that. I think that's horse shit.
Yeah.
It is absolute total horse shit.
Well, I also saw kind of the inverse of that as well, where like streamers that didn't talk about politics and now all of a sudden do because it's trendy and they want to play with AOC. I saw a bunch of people getting upset about that as well. So I think in a world where people are upset about everything, it's fun to kind of see what people are actually upset about. So that was another kind of take on the whole situation.
Yeah.
But yeah,
I getting to that point, like people talking about like fair weather, like political discussion, like people who used like the Black Lives Matter movement, like the AOC, like politics and that kind of stuff. I'm less up in arms about people who take it up and then kind of drop it because at the time they're taking it, it's just adding another voice, for a short period of time, but it's still another voice for a little bit of time, which, I think it's a net gain for those movements.
Yeah. Yeah. I think politics on Twitch, and I should say it in my stream specifically, because I can't really talk about politics on Twitch. Obviously, Hassan has made a platform out of it completely. He had 200,000+ viewers yesterday for like 10, 15 hours. So it's obviously something people are interested in watching on Twitch, and it's definitely something that you can go into if that's what you want. But I do think for people that have not been political on their platforms and they decide to bring politics into their platforms, there is a sense of like hurting your brand or hurting your channel that you have to kind of factor into that if that's something you care about. I also think that it is a very quick way to alienate people, regardless of what your actual views are. There's always going to be someone that will have counter views and not necessarily like or agree with what you're saying. And so that's something you got to factor into. With all that
would you
said, I don't really give a fuck if, like, I talk about politics all the time on stream. We have a like rule that chat can't talk politics unless I'm talking politics, because the second you bring up politics, as I'm sure we're probably all going to learn here very soon, chat just evolves into what our national conversation is on any given day, because the country is unbelievably divided. But if I broach that conversation, it's fair game, 100%. When we leave that conversation, the conversation in chat kind of stops, and we ask them to either take it to DMs or, open up social media and go there. Because that seems to be where everyone else goes. But I think it's impossible not to talk about politics this day and age. Just in American life, it is so inherent in everything that we do, especially around our age. I think if we were younger and maybe didn't care as much or didn't know as much, then like it wouldn't be a big of a thing, which somewhat an issue with politics to begin with is that probably should. That's kind of like the fight. I think every single time an election comes up is like the young vote, blah, blah, blah. But yeah, my take on it is like, I think politics are fine on stream if the streamer is okay having that conversation. If they're not, then you abide by the streamer's rules and you kind of go about it from there. So yeah, does it alienate people? 100%. At the end of the day, do I care? No, I'd rather like be able to talk about how I feel about stuff. And if people depart because of that, that's fine.
Yeah, that's. I was gonna actually ask you about that. Like, you already answered. Like, I've seen a lot of people like tweeting about it and little clips saying like, if you don't like what I have to say, you can unfollow. Like,
yeah.
Like, I'm not going to change my views or my views for views, I guess.
Sure. I mean, I'm open to the discussion, right? I think a lot of times I'm most interested in, and this sounds really like, I don't know what the term is. You guys can figure out what the term I'm trying to say is, but I'm generally interested in hearing like the other side's take on a lot of things, just so I can understand why it is that take is something that exists. And while I don't agree with it, I'll still hear it. And I think a lot of sides hear that and they're like, well, that's bullshit to begin with. Like, they're so-and-so, blah, blah, blah. And it's like, well, I hear both sides. I have my own take on it, but I'm still willing to listen at the end of the day. And that in itself is controversial to begin with, right? So like it's politics are a very interesting thing for a billion different reasons to get into. But yeah, I guess that's kind of my take on it ultimately. So I'm interested to hear your thoughts.
So for me, it's first of all, I kind of like what you said, and I agree with that completely. One of the beautiful things about Twitch and really all streaming platforms is that they give creators an opportunity to run the shows how they want to. So some creators are totally fine, kind of talking about their life, making it personal, utilizing in some cases their position to attempt to influence people to their political thinking or thinkings in general. And it also comes down to perspective, like what that creator wants for their channel, what they want for their community, what they want the long-term perspective of their channel to be like. I actually went into a thing this morning, kind of about the election. I talked about it a little bit.
Sure.
And I gave my side, kind of where I stood personally, which I have been trying not to do up to the election, and kind of went over what my thinking was on the whole thing, and most importantly, kind of like I was just saying about every streamer having that perspective, what my perspective was for my channel and my community. So for me, I've for anyone that looks or anyone that was curious, it's been pretty obvious what my stance is, has been over the years. I was one of the people tweeting never Trump 4 years ago. Like that's where I stand, that's where I am. I hold a lot of personal views about what kind of person he is and that kind of thing. But the thing that is so important, and don't get me wrong, like it'd be easy to go out and say all that, especially these days. Like in the media profession, which is what we're kind of closely tied to, that's a safe, comfortable area to do that in. But at the same time, and I went over this morning, that's not what I want for my channel. And especially, I think that's not the message that I feel is the most important to get out. These days, especially, I feel like the percentage has been flipped for most places, where when an American looks at another American, what they should see is 95% similar ideals and 5% politics. But because of how divisive everything is, that gets flipped. So when an American looks at another American, it's 5% similarities and 95% political stance. They become the enemy. It's the same team effect starts propagating. And in my opinion, right now, it is more important that gets broken than anything political. This country is built on political power going back and forth. It has for a long time, and it will continue to do so. It is so much more important that we all get on board with how America works and what America is, and then keep all the other stuff at the wayside as we kind of all move through this together as a team. So that's the message I've kind of pushed. That's one of the reasons that I say, look, I don't want a lot of people talking about politics in chat. That's not really an atmosphere where you can properly give a good argument. It's not really where you can have a good discussion on that. Like, I try to keep my politics talk to a minimum. I try to stage it in a way where it's kind of like, I respect your opinion, please respect mine. And at the same time, like, try to bring the focus back to people over politics and move from there.
Yeah.
I was offered a sizable deal from the Biden campaign to do sponsored streaming for Biden, and I immediately turned that down.
Yeah.
Did I think that it was wrong? No. In fact, some streamers I watched ended up working with them, and more power to them. Was it wrong for what I do for my show and my community? Absolutely, it was. Even though I was a support, I'm a never Trumper. So obviously, it would have aligned perfectly with me politically. But it's not an issue. It's not an issue in my mind of does a person have a backbone? Does he want to alienate viewers? For me, it's where do you want the focus to be with this kind of stuff? And for me personally, I feel the best focus these days across all the political spectrum is getting people over politics. So that's how I run it, and that's one of the reasons that I say, look, I'll say a thing here and there, but at the end of the day, this is a bar like Cheers in my channel. I want people to be able to walk in this door, and I want them to know that they're not going to have that shit thrown in their face. You can throw a stone in any direction on the internet, and people are talking politics and breathing down your neck about how you should think or how you should feel, and that goes for both sides. No one is immune to this stuff.
Yeah.
So, and there needs to be places that people can go to just like get away from that. I know my opinion. I'm not looking to get it changed right now. I want to play video games and have fun. Like, there's a place for that. So, yeah. I think it's just so much more important that people focus on everyone being on the same team instead of what I'm trying to say is we need an alien invasion. We need something to where our entire race is threatened, and then finally we'll see, like, we'll put all this other petty shit aside and start working on cool spaceships and fun laser cannons to blow them away. Like, we need like we need to us versus them other people, because see, humans have this great fun trait where we get comfortable. We us versus them ourselves because there's no one else to yell at, and we need to yell at somebody. So yeah.
Have you read or watched Watchmen before?
A little bit. I know about it, but yeah, I still need to see the show. I've heard good things.
Yeah, I'm just curious.
Oh, the movie. So I definitely know what you're talking about.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I started to say you're approaching one of the characters' lofty goals pretty quickly there, but yeah. Obviously, it's just
saying EDF. EDF. Yes, we'd
have to get Rami over here to the US so we could become the supreme. Yeah, supreme.
I'm doing my part.
Yeah.
Oh man. But yeah, anyway, again, just to TLDR, it all depends on the streamer. I'm fine with streamers doing it. I'm fine with streamers not doing it. Like, it's how you want to run your show. It's the level of professionalism. Like, newscasters aren't going to go in front of their news organization and start rattling off their political views because they're newscasters. That's not what they do.
Right.
So it all depends on what the streamer holds as his position as the forefront of their channel. I feel the same way about how people run their Twitch chats, and stuff like that. It all comes down to the individual streamer and what they want to do with it.
Yeah. I think that works.
Yeah, some people like view their channel more like ABC, NBC, whatever, Fox News.
Yeah.
And then some people view it like I do, like The Daily Show. Like, it's all pretty much a joke. I think we can all laugh at everything. Like, it's okay.
Yeah, and I think regardless of what you decide or how you decide to run your channel, like, you will always have detractors or people that attack you for running it X way. That's just how it is. So, like, if you're someone that worries about that as a streamer, like, I think the most important thing that you can do for your own stream is to make it your stream. And so, like, figure out the answer to that question and make that a part of your channel. Because if you're trying not to piss anyone off, that alone will piss someone off. Like, that you're by being nothing, you're gonna piss someone off for doing that.
There's a dude in my chat ranting at me right now about that very thing.
Yeah. Oh, 100%. Yeah. It's better to, and it's better, even if, like what Co said, where you don't throw it in their face, it's better just to, like, put it out there so people understand, and they can make that decision.
On a more personal note, I just want to know, have you found yourself, any of you guys, watching a stream? Because I know I have. Watching a stream, it gets political in chat, or the streamer starts talking politics, and you go, "That's the line." All right, moving on to the next channel. I mean, not that they cross an offensive line, but it's like, that's about 20 minutes. So I think that's good for me.
Yeah. For me, if I'm checking out a streamer for a specific game, or if I'm going into a channel to see hey, I wonder if this indie game's good. I wonder if he's enjoying this. If I want to see something about them, and then I go in and it's a rant about politics and stuff, I'm just kind of I'll come back later. It's cool. It's not like I like him any less. It's not like I'm gonna unfollow him. It's just I don't watch Twitch for this. If I wanted politics, I'd go do something else. And I think that's how that's one of the things about Twitch. There's a lot of things like that. It's not just politics.
Yeah.
A lot of times you go in with expectations, and if the streamer isn't doing what you want, you just go watch another streamer for a little bit, check in later, see if they're doing what you want. So, I think a lot of people, politics isn't their thing. They don't come to Twitch for politics. So it's just, the same thing. People don't watch movies to get the political stances of the actors. It's all the same stuff.
And you just nailed it for me. That's why I didn't stream on yesterday, because there's absolutely no fucking way, A, I could keep my mind on what game I was playing, and B, I wouldn't just start the whole stream would just be a discussion, and I'd have the game on the screen on a pause or something, and then I'd have nothing. It's just all be just political discussion the whole time.
Yeah,
that was a random pause.
Yeah, sorry guys, my bots just they self-attacked. That was weird. I don't know what happened. Yeah, no, I'm right there with you, Zeke. I streamed yesterday and it was I'm gonna play Destiny, and then it was 4 hours of well, we got exit polls in 10 minutes, Chad. I mean, I guess we should pay attention to those. And I actually had fun on stream yesterday. We had a pretty good discussion in the chat, and people were able to voice their views without getting too aggro to one another, and it was awesome. Yeah,
I played Hades, and we just pounded beers for 2 hours, 7 to 9, and it was great. So many people were just hanging out in there, just being I'm so glad that we're just playing video games right now. This is so good. I'm probably gonna do the same thing tonight while everything's happening. So
yeah. Well, people like Dan's Gaming had a very special stream, election coverage kind of a thing.
Sure.
Which I don't feel like I would be I would have to make it a joke, because I don't think it could be anything other than that for me. But I could definitely see that might have allowed me to stream. I would definitely not be doing video games if I had streamed yesterday. It would definitely just be me with a bottle of liquor and playing some sort of bingo, some sort of or drinking game, take a shot every time Biden says malarkey or whatever, something like that.
Yeah.
And just be just get fucking hammered with everybody that I could,
Yeah. I think that was pretty common yesterday. I saw a lot of people doing similar things to that. So it will die down. Politics on Twitch will 100% die down, hopefully, for a lot of folks, I would think, if this dies down over the next couple of days, weeks, 2.5 months, we'll see. Wishful thinking. Yeah.
That's funny.
But yeah, we'll see. Who knows?
There's no way this isn't going to the Supreme Court. You think? You think there's any possibility that this won't go all the way to the Supreme Court?
I don't know what it would go to the Supreme Court for.
Yeah.
I don't.
I think if you're the president, you can just kind of come up with reasons.
And that in itself is the problem.
I think they'll recount. But that's standard.
Yeah.
Kind of stuff.
Yeah.
I think that'll happen. But I don't know what they would. Everything's just kind of happening as it should. So
yeah, for the most part.
Don't give him ideas. Yeah. Like
he's
his
tuned
team
into
hasn't
drop
thought of that.
frames.
Yeah. Like, hey, did you hear? We can just make up a reason.
Maybe. Do we know any aliens? We should call some aliens, get them to attack. That guy had a great idea. Let's unify the world with some aliens. Call them up. Yeah. Anyways, yeah, we'll go with that and kind of wrap up the conversation on politics. Obviously, it'll probably leak into, I think, all of our streams over the next couple of days. It might even leak into the rest of this show, depending on what happens. Just how it is. We'll see what happens. We do have some other business to attend, though, or to attend to. One of them is game of the year stuff. I mentioned this to you guys. My mods are in the process of making our game of the year like community vote, and rather than being behind in that, we want to try to get ahead of that. So we need to choose our categories.
Oh,
can we change just a minor thing that kind of just very super minor thing that bugs me just a little? Can we say games of the year? Because game of the year is I don't know. We say so many games during that.
You need to get your liberal agenda out of here, Zeke. What the fuck is wrong?
Listen here, libtard. I'm not gonna deal with.
I'll say game of the year because that's what everyone else says. If you want to say games of the year, I won't fault you for it. That's just
okay.
Just my brain will go game of the year. That's how it is. I've pulled up last year's categories, and we'll go through that. We'll go through them one by one and then see if there's anything we want to add. This is also that moment where if anyone remembers those, quote, good ideas that we had around, I don't know, the second or third week of January last year, let us know in chat, because we don't. We didn't write shit down. We said it in the show, and here we are about 11 months later. Yeah. So let us know.
Didn't we I think we widened didn't we agree to widen the top 10 like category to include like DLC or like an expansion or something like that?
No, I don't remember. Let's go through the categories, and then we'll go from there. Categories last year, we had most anticipated game of the future that isn't Cyberpunk. I think we can just make that most anticipated game of the future. I think that's a fine category. Mm-hmm. Also, you spelled. I don't mean to pick up you. Yours was the first game of the year list that I found. You spelled it most anticipated. In a notepad file.
I think I was leaning towards most insipid game. And I mixed it up with anticipated.
I think so. Yeah. I believe so. So we've got the most. Maybe we should just leave it as that. Most anticipated. You spell it anticipated is what you said. ANCITIPATED is what you went with. So it's the most anticipated game of the future. Will be on the list. I love it. Favorite multiplayer, obviously. Favorite character. Favorite voice acting.
Okay. Still good.
Favorite fail of the year.
I like that in chat. Ooh, the most constipated game.
There you go. Favorite fail of the year. I remember fail of the year had some issues with it, if I recall.
Are we saying what were our answers for that from last year?
You put agony. I don't know what I put. I don't remember what Co put. So I think that's like game that was supposed to be good but then sucked.
Zeke, I call remothered.
We can vote for the same thing, buddy.
Yeah, you don't have to call things. Yeah.
Yeah, no, it'd be funny if we all voted for the same exact thing to be the biggest fail of the year. Now, biggest fail of the year doesn't have to be just a game. It could be something that happened, right?
Sure.
Like Cyberpunk being delayed.
We can call it greatest industry fail, and then it could be a game or something in our industry or streaming or game, like be all sorts of things.
Okay.
Yeah, I like changing that to greatest industry fail. of the year.
Okay.
I like that.
Of the year.
Yeah, that's a good one. Favorite DLC / expansion. I think that's good. Favorite narrative story / main quest. I would say just favorite narrative. We could probably remove that because, like, what if a side quest is really good in Cyberpunk or something like that, or any other game that has side quest.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll just put favorite narrative.
Well, I think it's like the way it's worded, and the way I'd like it is like the overarching story from beginning to end of the game.
Oh, so we you don't want to put like a 30-minute side quest had the favorite narrative?
Yeah, for me, I think it's got to be like.
Can we do both?
Beginning, middle, end of a game, like the best through line through the entire thing.
Okay, I'm indifferent. Code, do you have a thought?
I'm fine either way.
Okay.
Yep, either way is fine.
Chat, I mean, we could do both, but I think it makes more sense to do like general narrative. We could also do favorite story moment as one of them.
Yeah, you can do favorite moment of a game. Yeah, that's or however more elegantly worded you want to put it.
Yeah, I like favorite moment might be all right. In a lot of ways, some of these categories are going to be harder to do from a community vote perspective because you can only really do like games, but
not just like game titles.
Yeah. I think in a lot of cases, like we'll be able to maybe pinpoint that, but we'll see. We'll see how it goes. What else is there? There's favorite art style, which I think factors in like graphics and everything into it. That's all encompassing. Favorite sound design, which was different from favorite sound which was different from favorite music / soundtrack, which is good. Favorite sound design, favorite music. I forgot the specifics of this, but Zeke had a category called favorite frown upside down.
Yeah, I didn't make that category up. You heard me, like we had a discussion. You're like, I'm gonna call it Zeke's favorite frown upside down.
That sounds like something I would do.
Stuttered and stumbled over my words, and didn't come up didn't say exactly what I meant. You're like, frown upside down. It sounds like that's what you're saying. Let's call it Zeke's though.
What?
All right.
You put the Bard's Tale. What was like the category supposed to be about? Do you remember?
Yeah, it's something that started off bad. Like it's
like redemption.
Exactly. Yep.
Okay. All right. Then yeah, let's put like redemption of the year or something so that people actually understand what the fuck we're talking about. Biggest disappointment, I think. Does that clash with greatest industry fail of the year?
Not necessarily. Disappointment means you got your hopes up and you were crushed.
Exactly. Nailed it.
All right. I'll put that in there.
I love how chat is just like throwing out all their answers right now.
Yeah. Guys, you gotta wait a little bit. You gotta wait a month. And then we did top 5 games streamed, which is as long as you streamed it, it doesn't matter when it came out. Those are your favorite 5 games streamed. And then we did our top 10 games, which was, no DLC, no expansions, had to come out that year. Yep. All of the rules that we have used in the past apply to that.
Non-early access.
Yes, it has to have a 1.0. Yeah.
Yep.
Let me just finish this out. Is there anything we want to add then? I can go through them again if you guys need a quick refresher. So we have most.
Hold on. Now, do we just jump in a Discord call and I tell you all my answers? Because I don't know if they'll be counted if I send them through the email. I don't trust email.
We will be doing.
No, it's a really good point.
I'll have both sides. I'll have Nor and we'll have a mod from each channel. They'll be in the email as well. Make sure you tag them. They'll be there. They'll be able to raise the red flag if there's any issues, and we'll recount them. Okay.
If Zeke's late, though, I don't think they should be counted.
Zeke, can you promise to get him in on time?
I mean, if you would make voting for Games of the Year day a holiday, then I could definitely make it. I could definitely make time to do it on that day.
Okay. Co, are you okay making it a holiday?
I don't know. This feels rigged.
God damn it. All right. Well, we'll try. We'll see what happens. We'll see what happens.
I'm not even sure that Zeke's answers will really be his.
I mean, he does like to cheat. We all know that.
Probably gonna be Scott's or some shit.
You'll know because my top 10 game of the year the titles will all be in Cyrillic. So
well, here
you'll know.
I've got a great idea. Here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna weight each of our game of the years differently by how many viewers we actually have. So Zeke's will be weighted the lowest. I'll be right above that, or maybe we can do the same. We can talk about that, and then Co will be like 90% of the vote will go to Co.
Good job, Coalition.
Are we good with that? Are we good?
We're good with this. Well, we're good with this.
Okay. All right. Okay. Great. That's a brilliant idea.
I'll see you in court.
Jesus Christ. All right.
That going, didn't it?
I'm just waiting for Co to reveal his top 10, and I can just go, wrong. Wrong.
Oh, boy. All right. The titles, or rather the categories that we have thus far. Most.
You showed straight again.
What?
Nothing.
Huh?
Nothing.
Most I can't even read the word. Most anticipated game of the future. Favorite multiplayer. Favorite character. Favorite voice acting. Industry fail of the year. Favorite DLC/expansion. Favorite narrative. Favorite moment. Favorite art style. Favorite sound design, favorite music, redemption of the year, biggest disappointment, top 5 games streamed, and top 10 games of the year.
Cool. Yeah, that actually sounds really good.
Is there anything we want to add? Zeke?
Unless you want to add something like just a fun, something fun.
Oh,
I don't know. I can't think of anything right now.
Game of the year.
That's way too specific.
Entitled Cyberpunk.
We just give them an award. Oh my God.
I think we should have to do that. I think we have to do that. I think we have to give Cyberpunk its own award.
Let's give it its own.
like the category is so specific. There's only one game that it could be.
Top game by CDPR.
Top game.
Released this year, maybe. And then it goes maybe in parentheses.
I like it.
That rhymes with Cyberbunk.
So I'm going to chat. Merrick is saying worst/best monetization of a game. Do we want to go with like best MTX or worst MTX? Is that something we want to throw into the mix?
I don't think I'd have enough info.
You'd have to play.
None of us really like.
The only thing I played that's anywhere near those guys is I almost said Gotcha Impact. That's the only game I played.
Yeah, I think Genshin Impact will be in there. Pretty much every Ubisoft game will probably show up. Yeah, we don't really play, and then like PoE. Apart from that, though, I don't think the three of us really play games with a lot of MTX in them, I would think. So it might be too easy to like pinpoint that. Did we ever talk about why we don't do like indie game of the year? Is it because we just like lump them all into the same?
Because that's all Zeke
games. Is that the reason? That makes sense, to be honest.
No, I don't know. I mean, I'd be totally down for a top indie game. Well, I think we had a discussion on what that would be classified as.
Okay.
Didn't we? I think it was like, at what point do you draw the line, and like what would be the game on one side and what would be the game on the other side on closest on each side? You know, does double A count?
Does it still count as indie if the team is indie or the publisher? Like, if it's published by Square Enix, but the team is only 5 people, like, is it still indie?
I think that's why we didn't do it. You're right.
It's a little confusing.
Yeah.
We could do it like price. best game under, as somebody just suggested, great best game under $15.
Best value buy or something like that.
I could do that. I could definitely see like best game under 15 or $20 or whatever.
Yeah, it would be best release. It'd be a release price, right? Best. I don't want to call it like value. I guess best value game. Yeah.
Well, best value.
That sounds kind of discrediting the game.
Yeah, and also like $60 games can have good value in some cases. You know, so.
I feel like we're just making a category for Hades, though. In a lot of cases. So then we don't have to give it Game of the Year. We can give Game of the Year to something that's like, I do worry that we're making a category specifically for Hades. Because it would probably... I don't know. We could also give that to Game Pass as well.
How much is Hades?
Sponsored by Microsoft.
Yeah. Oh, yes. Yes, correct.
We'd have to get them on board.
I think Hades is $20 or $30 or somewhere in there. 25 maybe. Something like that. Yeah.
Best game named after Greek gods. Oh, I like that.
Exactly. Man, that's the fastest I've ever seen a bot work. We're really bot was killing it.
Yeah, it's 24. Hades is $24.99.
Whoa,
on sale probably. It's on sale for $19.99, and I'm guessing like I don't know like the percentage, but I'd probably say 95% of the games I buy on Steam
are under that.
I've bought for 10% or more off.
Yeah,
because they always it's a great scheme. It's a great little grift that your game is never full price.
Right.
Like almost no games that I buy are full price. Like there's always some sort of discount going on.
Yeah. Yeah. I kind of like, what if we did surprise of the year? And that could be like, it could be anything. It could be like, what's the biggest surprise of the year for you just in general? If it's a game, if it's a console, if it's something that happened on stream, it could just be anything. I think that might be an interesting
very broad category, but I mean,
it is
you're
very
talking
broad.
Like the opposite of disappointment.
Yeah.
Like biggest disappointment.
Yeah, I like that.
Biggest like surprise, like good surprise, you know?
Yeah.
Biggest surprise of the year. Surprise! COVID.
What's the word I'm talking about? What's the word I'm trying to think of, guys?
I don't know.
Good surprise. What's the word for good surprise? What's the opposite of disappointment? Appointment? Best appointment. No, that's not right.
What?
Listen, I don't. It's anticipated. Sleeper hit of the year? No, I don't. I don't know if surprise is the best word. Maybe.
Pleasant surprise.
We have to make like a dumb name for it then, if we're not going to use surprise. I do think that that is a fun category to have, though.
Guys, I don't think it would behoove us to call it the best happy ending.
No, that probably wouldn't.
I think that would probably be a bad choice of words.
Yeah. Hidden gem? That's not
hidden gem. I don't know if that's like encompasses what we're thinking.
Yeah.
Well, at least what I'm thinking. I'm thinking like yeah.
I mean, I think I'm okay leaving it with surprise. It just, we'll have to explain what we mean by surprise. And we'll have to keep it in the gaming world or the streaming world. So we can't put like COVID. Right? Like, so eloquently pointed out. Yeah. I'm okay putting that in though. And maybe we can reword it as we get closer.
Happiest little accident.
Biggest surprise of the year. I'm going to put biggest surprise of the year in gaming. There we go. We'll classify it that way. Yeah.
I love looking at chat and then looking it up myself in the thesaurus and going, oh, they had the same thesaurus open that I have now. Like people are saying miracle, like that fucking actually like fits. Miracle of the year.
I think that how many categories? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. That's 16 categories with including top 10 and top 5 game stream of the year. So I think at some point, if we add any more, we'll have to start cutting stuff just so the show doesn't turn into a 5-hour show.
It's already going to be pretty long.
Yeah. They're generally pretty long to begin with.
I've got like at least 20 games on my top 10.
Yes. Yeah, it'll be a crazy year. It has been a crazy year for you.
You can't do that. That's why I'm calling my lawyers. You can't have 20 in your top 10. You can't do that, Co.
Here we go again.
Watch me.
Here we go again. All right, cool.
I'm sorry. I thought this was America.
Jesus. Jesus. All right, I'm going to send these over to my mods. Hopefully we can get this stuff out as fast as possible so we can get some more votes. We'll have early voting. We'll have, if you need, we'll put Zeke's email there if you want to mail it in. He'll be our Postmaster General.
Yep. You can mail all them to co@loaded.gg.
You went there. See, I wasn't gonna be that evil. I wasn't gonna be that evil.
Don't worry, Co. No one listens to me anyway.
The cell phone. Let's do some. How long? What? Okay, we've done an hour. Time passes a little bit weird right now, so I have to.
I think I'd like to speak to your manager.
Oh boy, it's the same person. Okay.
Oh.
Well, you win that one. Like, if I go up to like our representation and go, either he goes or either like, see you, Zeke, get the fuck out of the door, hit you, baby. I'm like, wait, no, I take it back.
Oh boy. Hey, remember that DMCA thing we all talked about in recent shows? And then a lot of creators was like, DMCA, SHMEMCA. And now they're banned? Did you guys see that? It's crazy how that works.
A lot of people with strikes.
Yeah, it's crazy how they actually got DMCA'd. Who would have thought? I don't know how they could have known.
A lot of people gotten strikes, and arguably it hasn't begun yet.
Yes.
So there's a lot of people who are getting hit, and it's like they're getting hit for old stuff, like not even really recent stuff. So people are thinking like they're catching up and testing boundaries, and yeah.
I've only seen like one person.
There have been a few big names that have been banned and then shortly unbanned. So their gears are turning behind the scenes. Yeah. Well, who would have thought the law wins? I know, right? Weird.
Yeah, weird. It's weird. It's weird.
But yeah, it's going to be an interesting period moving forward for sure.
Here's a question I've got for you. We were talking about, the idea of voting and politics and, getting information out, like truthful information, not lies and stuff. How much do you guys think that streamers should be educating their audiences and being careful to not spread falsities when it comes to the idea of DMCA, aka saying that Twitch is the spawn of Satan and the platform's going to hell because they're banning people from DMCAs? Do you think creators should be careful about what they're saying there, or does it not fucking matter?
Man, that's an interesting question, but such a slippery slope.
Yeah.
Like that when you start policing content for accuracy, especially on a website that makes it clear the people in the website do not work for them. Like we are not Twitch employees. We are basic, like we are barely contractors, even those that sign with them.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's really, really tough. The only thing I could see them somehow enforcing is some kind of TOS line that says, something along the lines of you can't flagrantly badmouth or misinform purposefully or something like that. But I don't know. I don't think anything like that exists.
I don't know if I meant that. I definitely don't agree with Twitch enforcing that. I'm thinking just like creators policing other creators or trying to like support the actual conversation.
In many ways, the best way to counter bad information is with right information. But at that point, that quickly moves into whose responsibility is it to get out the right information. Now, I will say that I feel like Twitch could be a lot more proactive about getting out the right information.
100%.
So it's kind of a from the horse's mouth situation. So if there's a streamer going, hey, man, Twitch sucks because they're DMCAing everyone, well, that's obviously wrong.
Right.
So if I could be like, hey, Twitch actually doesn't DMCA anyone. If you go to twitch.tv/DMCA, they explain how the process works. That's the law. So if you want the right information, you could look there. Like that kind of thing, I think would be a lot more prudent. Like Twitch should just be like, here's how the whole process works. If you want to know exactly how it works. The problem is they're kind of doing that, but not really. They're playing that kind of coy, we're not going to say much, so we're not legally liable kind of thing.
Yeah.
So it becomes a lot more difficult because then even if a creator you trust says something they think is right, it may not be fully accurate. And it's like, what do you do in that case?
Sure.
So
yeah,
it becomes tumultuous.
Yeah. Zeke, any thoughts on that? Any differed thoughts, I should say?
And as somebody just said in chat, this is a good point. F reading.
Hey, I'm on that boat. I'm on Camp valid. F reading. It's a 10. I love that book. That's a good one. I like the book.
Thank you, Altazar. That's a very good point.
True.
Yeah, it's true. If people are not willing to do the research on things people say, be skeptical of the internet by nature, there's nothing you can do for those people. Like, you can tell them over and over again, but it doesn't matter. Like, sure. Is it irresponsible of someone to spout about shit they don't have any place? Like, or as my dad would say, telling tales out of school, like talking about shit they don't have all the information about.
Yeah,
it's irresponsible, but it's not gonna. There's no way that it's going to stop happening ever. So the best thing you can do is just be like, do your fucking research. Don't buy anything out of hand. Just someone spouting it.
Yeah.
Just because you see it in a meme doesn't mean that it's fucking true ever.
Sure. That makes sense. Yeah. It's ridiculous how this could just be applied to politics 100%.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It's groupthink, man.
It is. It is.
It's groupthink. Cults are groupthink.
Totally.
It all comes back to groupthink, same teamism. Closing yourself down to new ideas because you're so convinced what you are is right that you start excluding new information.
Yep.
And in that case, you just become an animal, essentially. Like, you're at that point, you're no longer filtering information. You're just blocking it. And in that case, you're, that's when you lose. That's when we all lose.
Yeah.
Is when we get to that point. When you stop accepting new information.
That is true.
Someone, Rick Stitch from my chat had a good question, and maybe I'm just dumb for not knowing the answer.
Mm-hmm.
But how, would it be beneficial, and how hard would it be to have make my VODs private button? Like they have on YouTube. Before you post it on YouTube, you can make a private video.
Yeah.
Why can't you do that for all of your VODs? Only you can see it, and only editors can see it, so it's not being seen by the general public.
That stuff still gets claimed, but
and this is important to mention.
Oh, okay.
We don't know how this works between Twitch and the people who are scanning for these infractions. So, for instance, if one of these major record labels comes to Twitch and they go, we want to check you for DMCA infringements. Well, for all we know, Twitch may be liable, and I don't know this for the record, they may be liable to be like, here is all our recorded content. Here is all the content behind subwalls. Here is all the content that's private. It may not matter if a video is private or public. That may not be the case. The case may be that it is recorded on their servers and could be distributed or shown publicly. Because at that point, think from a record label's perspective, if you could flick a button and make that public, then in their eyes, that's almost the same thing. This could be in 2 seconds, this could be made into something that we would hit. So, that could be very concerning. So, and we have no idea how Twitch treats this stuff. That's why when all this DMCA stuff happened, people were like, oh, I'll turn on sub mode for my VODs.
Yeah.
And it's well, we don't know if that stops it. If these record companies come in here, then it's maybe when they scan Twitch's archives, it doesn't even check if the VODs are sub only. We have no idea. Why would you risk that? So until Twitch makes a public thing about that, you have to be very careful assuming anything in terms of privacy on those VODs.
Yeah.
So I guess a question, I just want confirmation from any of you guys. for posting videos on YouTube. If you have a YouTube video that's private, that hasn't been made public yet, have you gotten like a copyright notice?
Totally.
Oh, yeah,
Okay,
absolutely.
okay.
Like
Yeah.
what we do, and this happened
I
with
know
Ghost
chat was
Runner.
saying it, but I just want to make sure.
Yeah.
From
This
your
is
mouth.
what we
Yeah.
do. Like with Ghost Runner was a great example. Ghost Runner is this really cool game. We talked about it last week. It's got a Danny something, I think is I don't remember the name, but he has a great soundtrack on it, and it plays the entire game. So what my YouTube guy did is he put like a bunch of episodes on YouTube as private. They didn't even have titles on them, and then those get scanned, and then YouTube basically tells you, yo, if you make these public, like here's what's going to happen. So that's the thing about YouTube. They have systems in place to kind of manage all this stuff.
Yeah.
That's what Twitch is lacking right now. And also it's a little bit different because this is all for VOD content, not live content. And that's a whole different beast as well. Danny Deluxe, thank you. The soundtrack's amazing. So we wanted to get it up there. But yeah, if you put up a video, you generally put it up as private first and then let YouTube do its scan thing and to see if it's good to go. And then you make it public.
Okay. It's just Twitch doesn't have that in place yet. Okay.
No. And also, again, Twitch is primarily live content. So Twitch's kind of answer to this is VOD muting and clip muting, where it's like pretty much the second it gets recorded, it gets scanned, and Twitch just mutes everything instead of like telling you about it.
Yeah. So yeah, that's our weekly update on DMCA. Tune in next week, where I'm sure we'll have more to say.
A lot over the coming months.
It's definitely a big deal for sure.
This wave is just starting.
Yeah. And to clarify, we had I have only seen one streamer get permanently banned, although I think they can counterclaim, so they might not be 100% gone. I have seen multiple streamers get different claims of all sizes. And they can also counter those claims if they so desire. But in a lot of cases, if you played copyright music, it's pretty difficult to win that claim because you played copyright music and there's a VOD of it. So it gets a little bit dicey there. But in response to all of that, I have seen more creators start deleting their VODs, which was, for me, kind of a sigh of relief because a lot of creators that weren't deleting their VODs happened to be close friends of mine, and I was begging them to delete the VODs so they didn't lose their entire, life, essentially. So yeah, it's the actions are occurring as a result of other actions, which it sucks in the long run, but being able to work is also a good thing. To continually work, I should say. So I'm sure we'll have a lot more to say about that as more stuff comes out about DMCA. This is not the last you'll hear of it on the platform. You'll probably be sick and tired of us talking about it by the end of all this, if there is an end in sight. Just like you'll probably be tired of us talking about ads. So there was a bug recently on Twitch. Adblock goes around. My understanding of this is that Adblock goes around the cookie on Twitch that handles when you have seen ads on the platform. And the bug was that when it did this, it would refresh that cookie. It would say that, hey, you haven't seen an ad, and it would run a lot more ads than were actually being run by the creator because Twitch would run ads itself. So it kind of started, I guess, when Asmongold tweeted out a thing about his viewers being spammed. And Twitch support responded and said, hey, Asmongold, thanks for flagging. We believe some users may be experiencing an unintended ad experience as a result of third-party tools or browser extensions and recommend they disable them to troubleshoot. So essentially that's like their bug, a happy accident really for Twitch to get people to turn off ad block on the platform so that I guess the streamers can manage when the ads are run, but
that's about as unintended as when they put the ads in that game. Whoops, we didn't know it would piss you off.
Yeah.
I don't think it's unintended at all. I mean, it's they 100%. We're trying to get around it. But I mean, here's the thing. This is the thing that drives me like absolutely crazy about that whole situation. Like, Twitch seems to think that for some reason, the perspective of where they're coming from matters at all. And the short answer is it doesn't. It doesn't matter if you were trying to get around ad block. It doesn't matter if you were fixing a bug. None of that matters. If the users are getting more ads. Two important things need to happen. One, we need warning before anything like that is going to happen with the proper information.
Yeah.
Because we need to know exactly what to tell somebody why they're getting ads. And second of all, Twitch needs to be public about this. The idea that they're going to give people a sizable amount more ads and then just be like, well, it's fine because they were using software they shouldn't have. No, that's complete bullshit.
Sure.
That does not fly at all and completely ignores the reality of their platform. So the idea that it's okay to dump literally probably millions of more ads across the platform and just kind of write it off as this like, oh, it was a bug, or oh, we were just working on coding around block. Completely insane. Like that's how they're going to kill long-term communities on this platform. It's because it completely disenfranchises viewers. The amount of people that I've seen being like, man, this makes me never want to use Twitch again. Man, this makes me want, hey, Co, can you go somewhere else? Stuff like that. And I'm like, I don't even know what to tell them for the first like 4 or 5 days. I didn't even know what was going on. I mean, people are like mid-rolls they're back. And it's like, are they? I don't think they are, but I don't know what to tell you. I mean, it's insanity, man. It is insanity.
It's the most frustrating aspect of it all when like creators are doing a lot of the education for viewers when it comes to why ads are happening.
Yes.
And all of this. And then things happen and we're like, I don't know. I don't know why you're seeing more ads. I wish I could tell you why you're seeing more ads. Like we're doing a lot of the legwork
like,
there.
First we don't know.
Yeah.
So we become the ignorant mouthpiece of Twitch.
Yeah.
Like I'm trying to like represent the company, but I don't know what to tell you. Right. Then comes the second phase of guesswork. Oh, well, I think this is happening. Maybe this is happening. So we're giving out wrong information all the time. Then the real thing comes out and it's kind of like, okay, so apparently some piece of these software spoofed the browser and it spoofs it for a different service and they changed how that service works. Like maybe. So it's just, again, it's insane. But the problem, and this goes back to the kernel at the bottom. The only outcome is that viewers are going to think they're getting spammed with ads. Doesn't matter why. Doesn't matter at all. And that is a horrible thing for our viewers, especially our long-term viewers that come here every day. That is a terrible thing to happen. That erodes trust between the viewer and us. Completely at Twitch's fault.
Yeah.
And it's like, they got to be better about this, man. They have to be. Anything that touches ads, we should know about. Need a fix, an update, a problem, anything we should know. Especially if I'm going to take that a step forward. If the viewer experience changes in any way, we should be knowing about it, preferably well in advance, so we can actually like help with this stuff instead of potentially hurting it with misinformation and wrong things. And it's just, it's like a complete mess. It's like there's an entire position at Twitch that's missing that is supposed to be like interfacing between the people that are like making these features and the streamers. Like it's insane. It's absolutely insane.
Ooh, I'm gonna clip that and send it to some people later because man, you're right.
Yeah, dude, it's wild. And I really I don't know, like I know how optimistic this sounds, but I really hope Twitch is looking at this last week and being like, wow, like maybe we need to do something about this. Maybe something needs to change a little bit about our workflow adjustments on this stuff.
Yeah.
Ads are a very hot topic. Anything involving ads, we need to be like handling carefully. We need to be proactive about. We need to be getting out information, transparency. Yeah.
Well, it seems a lot of times like they're operating under this weird idea that like they're not going to get got when it comes to, experiments that they're running or bugs that they're finding. Like if Twitch led with that rather than, a popular streamer tweeting out, why are my viewers seeing this? And then responding to it. Those are like two completely different scenarios. One garners a lot of goodwill and good faith. The other one just pisses people off and drives them away from the platform, essentially, at the end of the day. The general narrative right now is like, fuck Twitch in a lot of places. I'm not going to watch any ads. I'm not going to watch any more of that platform. I'm going to unsub from streamers because it's not even blocking ads on a lot of their streams itself.
Sucks the record.
And
like
sucks.
It absolutely sucks. It like, and I think I speak for a lot of streamers when I say we don't want it to be this way.
Yeah.
Like we want Twitch to be like for the people. We want it to be doing things that are good. Like, sure, make your money. we'll talk about ways to make you money. But it's like, we gotta be better about this. Like there's so many different better ways this stuff can be handled.
Yeah.
And it can be handled in a way that makes the viewer so much more on board with it. But it's just this kind of like this gouging that's going on. It's cancerous, and it's cannibalistic. Like they're going to lose themselves more money in the future by not thinking about this stuff now.
Yeah. Yeah. Sure. I think that's a good way to end that. But yeah,
I'm all for eliminating pre-rolls completely, and when you come into a stream, lower third, a crawl
of ads,
just like they do on like TV, like during like sporting events and shit like that. They have a lower third that's like, watch, American Family on Fox, like it's lower third, and they're like standing there like back to back, like shoving each other, like that kind of shit. Do that.
Yeah, I think it's naive to think that won't make its way to the platform someday.
Well, I gotta say, Zeke is hitting a thing though. More and different types of ads, absolutely. Like there's all sorts of things that Twitch could do to start working on getting them more of the revenue they clearly seek. So I mean, lower third ads below the stream, around the stream for limited periods of time. Like again, I'm not trying to give them like, stop giving them ideas. Dude, I mean, if they're making their money and we don't have to worry about the viewing experience being affected, like, let's figure something out.
My understanding
better than not seeing the stream. It's better. It's better for like people who are trying to get discovered. Like you go to a stream, you're like, oh, it looks like an interesting title, interesting combat. I like the game. They have like 37 viewers. You go there and it's like, well, I'm not gonna sit through this fucking ad. I'll just go to some place I don't have to watch ads. That fucking sucks. Don't stop. I mean, I would much rather like watch the person and have this little kind of like annoying lower third thing. And I would sit there for that. That'd be fine. I would continue to watch.
There's probably some product person where just screaming at us like, we have to make ads first before we can get specialized ads work. And that's kind of what the case is, where they have to prove to advertisers, that whatever ad pops up right now is being
let's
seen.
Make a plan.
So we need to work together.
What do we have to do? Exactly. Yes, exactly. What do we have to do to get you to where you need to be to make this good? Like, let's do this.
Yeah. 100%.
I hate it when you stop me from being a hypocrite and shouting about stuff I don't know anything about.
Right.
Yeah. So, again, not the last time you'll hear us talking about ads on the show either. It'll probably come up a lot in future episodes.
Start doing sections. Welcome to the DMCA portion of Drop Frames. Welcome to the ad portion of Drop Frames this week.
Yeah. We're gonna have to have.
I would just talk about video games.
I would love correspondence, like a la the Daily Show, where it was like, all right, DMCA watch, let's go to Jericho.
Yeah.
He's out in a storm, like there's wind everywhere. Trying to hold on to my hat here.
I'm dodging copyright strikes left and right out here. It's getting crazy.
People throwing like CDs and stuff.
AOL CDs. Yeah, AOL CDs. Yeah. That's what they should throw. Yeah, that'd be good.
Wow.
Let me see if there's any normal gaming. I say normal gaming news. Did we do a show last week when they delayed Cyberpunk again? That was like 6 years ago, right? When did that happen? I think we did a show.
We talked about it.
Okay.
Didn't we?
All right. I don't recall.
Oh yes, we did, because I remember making the very point that I absolutely hate to make, but has to be made. If you actually think it's coming out on December 10th, I wouldn't hold your breath.
There you go.
Like, I love CDPR, but I certainly don't love whoever's making those release dates.
And dude, I'm just waiting for the people like myself, like, but not for this game, but it would happen for like specific games. But the people who are going like, hey, when it's done, it's done. Yeah, when it's done, it's done. Next one. When it's done, it's done. But you're trying my fucking patience now.
Yes.
Well, to be clear, there's a difference between when it's done, and we're going to tell you it's going to be done like 5 times and keep breaking that promise. Like that's a very different thing. I think most people about Cyberpunk are fine. Like, take your time with it. It's cool, but just be totally upfront. Like, yo, we need like 4 more months. Like seriously, like we're gonna need another half year. Sorry, dudes. We'll see you next June. Like we're gonna do this right. But like, hey, it'll be out on December 12th. Hey, it'll be out January 5th. Hey, it's gonna be out February 18th. Hey, it's gonna be out March 4th. Hey, it's gonna be. It's just like, no, dude.
Yeah.
No,
Just hear
stop.
Brad.
Stop.
Just hear Brad Pitt in 7. Just don't jerk me off. That's all I ask. Don't jerk me off.
Yeah. Need to watch that movie again. I guess things we did not talk about as it pertains to Cyberpunk is other games delaying because of Cyberpunk delaying, specifically one that me and Co both have interest in, Path of Exile. Also, I think Everspace as well got delayed or something like that because of Cyberpunk.
I'm sorry, this guy, the people doing that bot thing had to work so hard to get around my words.
Oh yeah. I think they left mine and went to yours. So enjoy.
I think they did too. He had to put like 11 ones in Trump and like all this. Like it's just ridiculous.
Nice.
It just looks dumb
now. Did you read into any of the GGG stuff of delaying for Cyberpunk and the community response to that, Co?
I mean, I know they did, but no. Could you go into that a little bit?
Well, I would just start screaming, and that would probably be the response that I saw to GGG delaying that stuff. People were upset. I'm curious to see your take on the idea of a game moving its date because of another game and being so public about it. Because a lot of this happens behind the scenes all the time. I think it happened multiple times this year, as it already with Cyberpunk.
Not quite as overtly.
Yeah. But GG flat out said, like, we are delaying the launch of 3.13 because of Cyberpunk's new date.
I have to say that I think no matter how you slice it, it feels disingenuous. It does. I think that it's the kind of thing where it's like, yeah, we're delaying this because of Cyberpunk. It's kind of like, okay, but that also gives you like 3+ more weeks to do something about it, and your last league released with major issues.
Yeah.
They clearly show that you needed more time with it. It's like, I kind of felt it would have been better if they were just more upfront about that. Like, not necessarily blaming Cyberpunk, but be like, you know what? Cyberpunk's coming out, and we need a lot more time to work on this.
Right.
Like, now to be clear, I don't think I read the entire press release. Maybe they got into that.
There was a follow-up that I did not get into, and that's what I'm looking for right now. What were we gonna say, Zeke?
Cyberpunk might be the first big release that the spoof games come out before the actual game.
You know what?
Like all the like Death Standing and Anime Stranding and like those like spoof games.
Sure.
I think the Cyberpunk spoofs are going to come out before the actual game.
Potentially.
The Cyberpunk. There you go.
Yeah, I know that they did put that follow up, and now I'm frantically trying to find.
Yeah,
it.
I didn't read that. So
it was long.
Before I comment on it too much, let me see if I.
Are you going to scan it? Okay, I'll move forward.
Scan it real quick. I'd like to have the right info here.
Yeah.
So are there two?
There are two different posts, and for some reason I guess I'm just going to go to like the POE website.
Also, kind of like that Cyberpunk 2077 we were talking about just then.
Cyberpunk.
Okay.
I don't know what's happening. Where is this? They don't have this news like on their front page at all.
I see the 3.13 launch delayed until January post.
I think
we don't want to put our players in the position of having to choose between these two games, so we've decided to step out of the way and delay the release of 3.13 until January.
I just linked it to you in Drop Frames chat.
Oh, thank you.
I think if you're looking at it was a Reddit post. It wasn't a.
It's a Reddit post.
I was looking on their news site. Yeah. Holy shit, this is long.
Okay, give me one sec.
Yeah, read through that real quick. It's interesting though that they're being so vocal about that. I think chat, was it Everspace? Was that the other game that they delayed?
Yeah, they did.
Okay.
Everspace 2.
Everspace 2. Yeah. Did they?
I think it's EA, not like the full game.
Gotcha. Yeah. It's a weird time.
That game can take as long as it wants. By the way, I've played the early access thing for Everspace 2. It's gonna be good. Like, it's fun. It's a lot of fun. Yeah,
that's good to hear. Co has read like 2 books lately, so I'll read this fast. All right, let's see if it holds.
Dude,
true.
I just got done with Way of Kings, and I'm working on Words of Radiance right now. Amazing.
We're gonna have a mini wheat.
Oh, good.
Actually, we already have a mini wheat. We're gonna have a mini wheat, a mini wheat co. I don't know.
Seems right.
With this. Yeah, I guess we already have one of those too. Damn. We're just waiting on Co to read this. before.
Oh, are we really? Talk about something else. Come on, man.
We have like 5 minutes to
Here
take a
quietly
break.
while I read this.
We're just gonna wait. We're gonna count the ballots. Okay. We're gonna have some patience, and we're gonna wait. All right, we're just gonna sit here and wait for the ballots to be counted.
Okay, they're being so. You know what? Here, I'll just kind of summarize it on reading. So historically, so far we've historically been really lucky, almost to avoid directly clashing with the release of other major games. They talk about some history about releasing the Blight League with classic launch. It had a huge impact on their numbers and play hours, Twitch views, and revenue. So they actually have some history in their leagues releasing versus big games. Quote, Cyberpunk 2077 is a massive game. A lot of people are going to play it, and they're probably going to play it pretty hard. Prior to yesterday's announcement, we were somewhat comfortable with the relative timing between Cyberpunk's previous release date and our target date for 3/13. There's a 3-week gap, which I think is what they're going for now. And they announced the delay of their release to within 24 hours of our launch. You may feel it's an overreaction for us to want to move out of its way. I'm deeply sorry about the inconvenience and disappointment, but the commercial reality is that if we kept our original release date, we would be, to quote this, fucked.
That's very Chris.
Wow. Okay. That's very candidly honest.
Yeah.
Look at that. Wow. We believe we'd lose at least half our players, almost all of our streamers, and a chunk of our developers. that last part's pretty good. We honestly wouldn't blame them. Launching at the same time as a game of that size is not feasible. So then he talks about if they could launch earlier, but trying to finish faster would reintroduce both the problems of quality and crunch. Okay, valid. What about later in December? Well, there's Christmas. That makes sense too. Launching 1 week later than we planned on this. Okay, yeah, I'm going to say this right now. This is really well written. Like he breaks down the options. He breaks down why they're doing it. This leaves January 8th or January 15th.
Even with the F word in it?
What's up?
Even with the F word, you think it's well
I
written?
do. I think it's. I think the fact that he only used that word one time just adds even more weight to it. Like that, like that's. It's not like these drop an F-bomb. The entire thing's written very professionally. A lot of the teams are back by the 15th, so that's a date we're likely to announce. I want to say to my team, you guys had a difficult year. Go have a great vacation, come back recharged, and we'll launch a product we're confident in. To me, this is possibly as important a reason as trying to avoid having our numbers crushed by another game. A very hard call to make to delay a release by this much. It's a huge revenue schedule hit. In this case, the delay being essential forced upon us does not mean that we get some other benefits. Okay.
Yeah.
I think that's the meat of it, but cool.
Transparency works.
Wow. That is
who knew?
Yeah, that is super transparent and GG. That's 5 G's in a row for this counting.
There you go.
Yeah. Nice.
Yes.
Oh, I see what you did there.
Yeah. Very good. Very
caught
good.
up.
Yeah. Yeah, as someone just said, respect, dude. Like that's a lot of respect. He was just straight up. We're not releasing it early. We don't want to crunch. It will give us more time to work on it. Like we also want to take, a Christmas.
Yeah.
That'd be nice.
You want to take a vacation in this fucking dreadful year?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Cool. I will be sad not playing a new PoE league on Christmas, as that has become a norm for me in the past like 3 years.
But hey, now you have some anticipation. You have something to look forward to.
We got January.
It'll give them more time to polish it and make it good.
It will. It will indeed.
Yeah.
It's good.
There's some benefits there.
It's good. We're gonna take a break soon. Did you guys, like, new consoles are out next week? That's a thing that's happening. Just FYI. I feel like I have to remind myself that.
Oh, you mean like in 6 years brain time?
Yeah, essentially 30 sleeps till next Tuesday. This is where we're gonna be. I have not had my PS5 ship yet. Have you guys had it? Mine is not shipped.
Nope.
I gave the Amazon one to another streamer, so I'm down to 2, and I've got 2 from Walmart, and I'm real nervous that the Amazon one is going to get to the other streamer, and I'm not going to get mine on launch day, and that would be like quintessential 2020 in a nutshell for me. But yeah, they have not shipped. I've not been charged yet either, but they do say shipping soon from Walmart. I think Best Buy
that happens.
soon.
Make that streamer stream on your channel.
Well, I don't know if Lyric would want to do that.
Oh,
He
wow.
might not
Okay.
be into streaming on my platform. Yeah, but Walmart says mine is shipping soon. I think Best Buy has started to like. I think in I've seen people with Best Buy Xboxes pre-ordered say that they've got like their credit card charged and they're like, moving forward. But Walmart's slacking. It's got to be, I would think, here in the next, like, if it's going to be here by Tuesday, Friday would probably be the latest that they could ship that thing out and get here on Tuesday. So I guess we'll see. Yeah. Where did you get yours from, Co?
Sam's Club.
Oh, that's right. Okay. The Sam's Club order.
I have like almost zero experience with them, so I don't know what to expect.
Yeah. I don't know. Are they going to get it there on Tuesday or you just have no idea?
I have no idea right now. The last thing I heard from them was you have successfully got a pre-order email.
Okay.
And we'll see.
They charge you yet?
I don't think so.
Yeah, it's rough. Zeke, what about you? Did you grab a PS5 from anywhere? Okay.
No. Nope, I didn't look really.
Yeah. It was tough. I mean, if you weren't there like the first day,
I just realized I didn't get any games.
I didn't.
I guess I can download them. Yeah, we can download them all.
Hopefully.
Oh God, the network.
Yeah. Like PSN might be lagged to shit. I was thinking about that too because I didn't download either, or I didn't buy them either.
I wonder how many download streams are going to be on release day.
I don't know.
74 hours remaining for Demon Souls.
You got to think it'd be pretty easy to get the physical game, though, right? Did you get a digital version or a discless version? Do you know what your
digital?
Oh, then you might just be, you might just have to sit there and.
I have made a huge mistake.
Yeah, I have one of each, so I guess we'll see what happens. Hopefully, one of those
God, what have I done?
Yeah, at least you won't have to download the new Call of Duty, which apparently is 250 gigs on day one. So, yeah, that's apparently a massive game for some reason. I don't think we've seen file sizes at all for Spider-Man or Demon Souls or anything like that. Activision apparently debunked that. That was fake news. There you go. It's only 240 gigs. I don't know how big it is. But yeah, we'll be talking. Are we doing a show next week? We should do a show, right? Talk about the new consoles and stuff like that. I don't think there's any.
11th.
It'll be in the middle of all of that. So
yeah, that's gonna be tight.
Well, the PS5 released on the 12th, right?
Oh, that's right. We won't have PS5s yet, will we?
And the Xbox on the 15th.
Xbox is 10th.
We'll have Yakuza.
Yeah, we'll have Yakuza.
It depends on how raging my Yume is.
We'll have Yakuza. We'll have Assassin's Creed. We won't have any of the PS5 stuff. I'm okay with pushing that show to like either later in the week or just waiting a week as well.
Dude, I am down for skipping that. Yeah, the day after Yakuza, because I'd love to have 2 days in a row of that shit.
Yeah. Okay, we'll talk. We can either push it or we can do a show on the following week. What about the following week? What is the? I think
things now that Cyberpunk's gone. I mean, so many things moved away from that week because of Cyberpunk. So now that Cyberpunk's gone, I mean, we're gonna have a big glut the week before. Like, there's gonna be Empire of Sin. What are the big ones? So let's see. Let's go down the list. There's gonna be Godfall, Demon Souls, Yakuza.
I got them right here. If you don't want to count them.
Yes,
yeah, okay. On the 10th, we have Destiny 2, Beyond Light. We have the Xbox Series X and S launch. We have Assassin's Creed Valhalla. We have Yakuza, and then we have Devil May Cry 5 Special Edition. On the 12th, we have the PS5 launch. We have Spider-Man Miles Morales, The Pathless, which is another first-party game. Launch title game. Demon Souls, Godfall, Bugsnax, Call of Duty on the 13th. There's that Zelda game on the 20th. There's a Kingdom Hearts game on the 13th, so it starts to kind of get a little bit slower after that week. So I think the 18th is probably going to be more inclined to do a show because by then we should have finished up at least
least a few of those.
Two of those games.
And what we'll do, we'll meet up on the 9th, and we'll all pick a couple titles, and we'll divvy up the releases, and that way we can all have all our bases covered on the 18th.
There you go. Yeah, I've got my plan figured out. I've got a hierarchy and everything for what I'm going to play. I am curious though, where does Demon Souls rank for you guys in terms of the expediency that you're going to play it?
Immediately.
You're an immediate. You haven't played it yet. That's right.
I've never played Demon Souls.
That's true.
So my first experience of Demon Souls ever is going to be the new one. So that for me is like I think Yakuza is 10th right now.
Yeah,
so I think
10th, yeah.
I think I'm going to go ahead and like dive into Yakuza for a couple days.
Okay.
And then Demon Souls comes out, and I'm thinking like split streams, Demon Soul mornings, and going to keep Yakuza going.
Okay.
And then as those peter out, like Empire of Sin, AC Valhalla, that kind of stuff. Godfall, maybe. I think the Godfall guys pinged me about doing a sponsored thing. So I think I may.
Same here.
I think I may do that.
Someone actually see what that is. Exactly.
I'm curious. Yeah, I mean, Godfall is definitely for me on the. This could be good and this could be not. It's kind of. By the way, shout out to them. It's kind of cool. Like I'm actually doing like this thing where it's like I'm doing a sponsored thing. They wanted me to do like a whole bunch of sponsored stuff, but I was like, I'm gonna do the sponsored thing and see if I like it, and then maybe we can like maybe do more.
Yeah.
And they were like, yeah, we can do that, which was very cool of them. So we'll see how it is and kind of go from there. So.
I'll be right there with you for that. Zeke, what about you? What's your hierarchy of games to play? I know Yakuza is probably number 1.
Yeah, for sure.
Empire's really December 1st.
Yeah, it's not till December.
Sorry.
Yeah. No, I really try not to plan too far out. There's a handful of games that I get really excited about, Yakuza being one of them. But honestly, I fly week to week. Okay. Usually, like, I might know what I'm playing for a week, and then the next time I'm just like, I'll throw in an old game, like an old indie that I never played. I want to check out a CD-ROM, stuff like that. So, Demon Souls is definitely on my list, but it's gonna be
a while.
Probably not even this year that I play it.
Okay. Since we were talking about, does Demon Souls, it's a remaster, so does that count on Game of the Year list?
It's a remake.
It's a remake. Yeah, not a remaster.
Remakes count because we did Resident Evil.
Right. Okay.
Yep.
All right. So yes, that will be
remasters. I think is a lot. That's arguable, but when you're talking about like redoing the engine from the ground up kind of thing, I think that's totally fine.
Also, have you guys seen the trailer that came out like last week? Oh my God, it looks. I don't want to show it because I'm going to get DMCA'd. But man, does it look. I saw, man, it was funny because I had the same response Man vs. Game did without even seeing his tweet or agreeing with it in the first place. It looks so pretty and so good that I hope that still has that like Demon Souls / Souls grit to it because of how like good that game looks. And they've said the Blue Point Games, the people that are making it, have said that they can put you can put different filters on the game if you want that type of feel from it, which is pretty fucking cool. But just like straight up pretty graphics version, I think I'm comfortable saying it's like the most next gen looking game that I've seen thus far. It is very, very pretty looking. It does not look indicative of a Souls game just because it's like so pretty and so graphically intensive. It doesn't have like that grit is how I would explain it, but we will see. It looks cool as shit regardless. And the fact that they have those different filters, I think, as well as like a black and white filter, 3 different ones is what I read. It's cool. The other thing, did you guys read any of the reviews for Yakuza? Is that broke this morning?
Oh yeah. I saw a lot of them. They're great, like 5 of 5s.
It's got a
4 or 5 all over the place.
Reviews. Okay.
What's funny is IGN gave it like a 72.
Really?
And I was like, and on stream, I was like, now that's weird. Like, the IGN stuff's kind of like a meme. So I was like, I on stream, I'm like, let me look at this real quick. Let me skim it. Let me see why it got a 72. And sure enough, you go down to the bottom and read like the closing thoughts, and he's the game gets really difficult at the end, and I was just like,
huh. The pull or the quote from the review that I have is from IGN. Yakuza Like a Dragon takes some bold steps in a new direction for the series, but neglects to maintain its balance.
Yeah. Now, to be fair, weirdly enough, some of the other Yakuza games have issues with that, where like you can kind of breeze through a lot of the game, and then all of a sudden you get to like a few boss fights that are just like on a completely different level. Like you need to know how to do a lot of the mechanics that you just didn't need to know for the other parts of the game.
Yeah.
So I mean, balance and stuff could be a big deal. But I will say this: I'm gonna find it extremely funny if like we play Yakuza and do side content and get strong, and then like breeze through the end game. I have
Right.
this think. I don't think we will. I think if there was enough balance issues to knock the score down that low, they've got to be pretty serious. It's also so weird that like even though a couple other sites apparently touch on that a little, like IGN's the only one that's like, yo, it gets super bad at the end. None of you know these. It's weird that no one else is kind of like making that a focal point. And then to knock it down by 28 points for that, I don't know. It just seems a little strange.
Yeah, Game Informer says it's a new direction for the.
It got grindy. Well, yeah, I think the premise is that you have to grind because it's difficult.
Yeah,
but yeah, I see what you're saying.
Game Informer says it's a new direction for the series, but Like a Dragon captures the essence of what came before while setting out its own journey. Let me see. GameSpot says Yakuza Like a Dragon's cast of misfits make the wild RPG combat, absurd humor, and dramatic storytelling soar. What else? Is there any other sites that I know?
PC I just want to hear. I want to hear more words like weird, absurd. Like I want all of that. Make it surreal.
Sure.
Oh, I'm so excited. Like I don't get pumped for games very often.
PC Gamer says a fun, charming, and occasionally a brilliant Yakuza game let down by an overabundance of repetitive turn-based battles. They gave it a 72 out of 100. I will say that was PC Gamer. I will say from that hour that I played, that slice of a very large game, I got into a lot of fights. Granted, I could auto fight a lot of them, so it wasn't that much of an annoyance, but there was a lot of combat in that little slice. Polygon.
Didn't you say you could skip out of fights?
Well, you could auto fight it.
Just auto fight? Okay.
You could just let it do itself. Polygon has like a 10-page fucking final closing statement, so I'm not going to read that.
That's interesting because like I feel like they're basically turning Yakuza into a JRPG, and I feel like that's kind of a thing. Like
JRPGs, yeah.
It's kind of like you kind of got to lean into that if you're making a JRPG. That's like
totally, yeah.
I don't know.
Well, I should have.
What's auto fight? JP explained it last week, but basically it just does the basic attack. You can speed things up, and it just does basic attack. So
it's pretty standard in JRPGs now, because like you said, a major complaint of JRPGs is there's too much RNG fights. Yeah, but I should have led with this. It's got a 54 reviews counted, 87 average with 94% recommended. I also saw friend of the show, Danny Odower, also saying that it was very good.
Hopefully a fan of the show too.
Yeah, I would think hopefully. Yeah, I don't want to, you never know.
We're a fan of his show.
We are. We do like No Clip. They're good stuff. It's good stuff. So, yeah, that'll probably be. We'll definitely be talking about that on the next show for sure. So, I don't think there's. I mean, there is news. I don't know if there's anything that else we want to bring up. The source code for Watchdogs leaked, which I didn't look into that at all. I just saw that it leaked. That's kind of a funny thing.
I went back and tried it again, man.
Yeah, we'll talk. Let's save it for the second half of the show because I did as well.
Yeah.
What else? Pokemon Go hit 1 billion in 2020. Lifetime revenues surpasses 4 billion. Still crazy to me that game is as big as it is, but I shouldn't be surprised. Did both of you finish Days Gone, or was that just Co? I know you did because you really liked
I finished it. Yeah, okay. I played all the way through. I think
they confirmed 60 FPS with dynamic 4K and save transfers from PS4 to PS5. So that might get me to per y'all's.
I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah, you guys both spoke much highly than other people did about that game. So maybe that's a January or February checkout for me.
Much good game.
Much good games better. Maybe sometimes. I don't know if there's anything else. I think we're just gonna take a break. Oh, I did read this yesterday, and I thought it was it goes in line with our conversations of MTX and all of that. Activision Blizzard reported that in just 3 months, they made $1.2 billion from microtransactions, specifically microtransactions in Call of Duty. So if you're wondering why they're there and why they exist in all those games, it's because they make a lot of money. Regardless of how angry your favorite content creators and or Twitter personalities get, people still buy them. And they're probably always going to get bought in the billions.
Dude, just make the fucking game free. Make the fucking game free.
They probably, I don't know how much did the most recent Call of Duty sell? Lifetime? I wonder if it's made more in it's probably made more in microtransactions than it did in.
Is it free?
Warzone is free. Okay, had one guy spend $1.1 billion.
Yeah. You know, Bezos.
Every gun skin 10,000 times.
Bezos is in there. Oh, Warframe is free. So a lot of that came from the Battle Royale.
Warzone.
Or sorry, Warzone. What did I say? Warframe. I said Warframe.
Yeah.
Warframe also free. I'm not wrong.
Yeah, you're not wrong.
But yeah, Warzone is free, which is their Battle Royale. And where a majority of, I think, those microtransactions came from. But
Frame Zone, not free, though. Frame Zone, you have to pay full price for.
You do. Yes, that costs money. I think that's good for the news. I think we can take a... Do you guys care about Todd Howard and Starfield? Should we talk about what he said about this? It's pretty, light news. He said Starfield is a single-player game, no multiplayer aspects. It has procedural generation confirmed for Starfield and Elder Scrolls 6, but that is only in the level design. The game will not be procedurally generated. That's just how they're making the levels. And so that was kind of a weird quote to give. Similar to what Spider-Man did with its city. That was procedurally generated, and they went and made it look better. The full quote is, "This is a tool for developers to create massive landmass and does not mean that the land will be randomly generated in real time like No Man's Sky, meaning your game will look the exact same as everyone else's. This is simply an engine tool to create larger worlds, so expect Starfield planets to be much larger than Fallout 76 maps, which is already 4 times bigger than Skyrim. There's also a huge major overhaul to the creation engine, larger than the jump from Morrowind to Oblivion. If anyone... that means more to people that are fans of those games, I'm sure. With a focus on rendering, animation, artificial intelligence, and pathing, procedural generation, and more areas. He also said, it's going to be a while until we see Starfield. The release can be subject to delays, so he really doesn't feel comfortable talking about it yet. He doesn't want to reveal... I thought this... I couldn't find the exact quote, but the pull apparently from this interview was, he doesn't want to reveal Starfield earlier and just release teasers until the eventual release like Cyberpunk. So I don't know if that was like the interviewer saying that or if that's actual words from Mr. Howard's mouth. If it is, it's quite funny. NPCs will play a large role in future games. Cities will be expansive and large compared to past games, etc. It will be on Game Pass day 1 alongside Elder Scrolls 6. So that full interview was in video form, called Going Nuclear, the story of Todd Howard and Bethesda. It's an hour long, if you want to watch that. So, yeah. I think that's it. That's the last bit of news that I have. Let's take a break. We'll come back, talk Watchdogs, some more scary games, some other stuff, and then we'll call it a show. So, don't go anywhere.
Yeah.
So,
stuff, things.
Stuff, things. People, places, airplanes, cars, all that, and more. Right after this. Drop Frames. We'll be right back.